welcome to the live studio audience for Batavia High School's second annual pitch night. Please bring your attention to the monitors above to watch a brief video from the Executive Director of the INCubator program, Margarita Jaleski.
The INCubator EU Entrepreneurship Program for high school students is a concept inspired and developed by real entrepreneurs. The program's founders are successful entrepreneurs who want to share the discipline of entrepreneurship with high school students. Neighboring schools heard about the new program at Barrington High School and encouraged us to further develop the program so that other schools could create entrepreneurship experiences for their students. In developing the program, our priorities are: make this experience real. That is, use the tools and techniques entrepreneurs use today to start up new ventures. Secondly, partner with the community's business professionals. And importantly, make this learning hands-on, or to put it simply, learn by doing. We think it's terrific that teenage students have the opportunity to create and fully develop their own product or service. Through the creation of a business, students are creating, in fact, their own learning experience. So real entrepreneurs and business experts serve as volunteer coaches, mentors, and board of advisors in this program. Together with the classroom teacher, they guide student teams through the lean processes of developing hypotheses about a business concept, testing those hypotheses, failing, and importantly, learning from those failures. The program also includes foundational business topics such as marketing and finance. The purpose of all this testing is to ensure that students don't build something that nobody wants. So at the program's completion, I hope you'll all agree that these students have developed some pretty important skills, like creative problem solving, critical thinking, public speaking, teamwork, and importantly, resilience. These skills are life skills. So no matter what students choose to do in the future, they'll have skills that will help them navigate life's new roads. We are thrilled that Batavia High School is a part of the INCubator EDU community, and we wish all the student teams the best tonight. Good luck, and go Bulldogs!
Hello, good evening. How's everybody tonight? Oh, come on, this is a live TV audience. How's everybody tonight? All right, my name is Dan Junker, and I'm honored to be your host this evening. I'm also a coach in the program, and we've got a great show in store for you. We've got the stars of Batavia High School that are just budding on their careers, and it's going to be an awesome TV audience. Live action applause is very welcome. So thank you for being here this evening. First of all, what I'd like to do is I would like to ask that Brian Gamlin, who runs the program here for the Batavia INCubator Entrepreneur Program, on the stage. Brian.
Thank you, Dan. My name is Brian Gamlin, and I serve as the director for the INCubator program here at the high school. Later on, you're going to hear from our classroom instructor, Dennis Piron. He'll be out to talk to you later. But I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight to see all the hard work that the kids have put together over the course of the year to bring this together for you. Before we get to their presentations, I do need to give some special thanks to some key people and some key ways in which this class all came together here. So the first group I need to thank real quickly is my board of advisors. I have 4 of them: Matt Novak, who's one of our judges tonight, Matt Winkle, Bob Hubbard, he's one of our judges, and Jeff Robinson. In addition, Bob Hubbard serves as our community champion, and what that means is he helps with all of our connecting, our recruiting, and kind of organizing our business professionals and lining them up with their areas of expertise to come and work with the kids. I also need to thank all of our coaches and mentors from the local Batavia business community that come in and work alongside the students to help them learn about the different entrepreneur skills they need to get to the point you'll see tonight. Their real-world experiences make a tremendous difference for the kids along the way. I need to give some additional thanks to BATV. You're going to see some neat videos that they've put together for the kids and for some background on the course. I need to thank Dominic Catero. He's the director of the Fine Arts Center, and he helps organize all the different staging. And tonight, actually, he's at home because he just had his 4th child, or his wife did. And so we have Erica Knutson. She's one of our juniors, and she's an intern at the Fine Arts Center, and she's actually the one calling the show for us tonight in Mr. Catero's absence. I do also want to thank all of our sponsors. Earlier in the year, we held a fundraiser at Penrose Brewing, and that helped us generate the funds so that we actually have money in the bank to give away to the kids tonight as they present and pitch. Also, any of the snacks in the lobby, you can have some in intermission as well, were created and prepped by our foods class at the high school. Lastly, there's 3 key things that happened this year, and I need to give some special thanks to those. I want to thank the foundation, the Batavia Foundation for Educational Excellence, for their initial help launching the class and their continued support and funding along the way. They continue to help us with our mid-year MVP grants that the kids pitch for to help get them further in the process. Also, I want to thank Interiors for Business. They're one of our key partners, and they helped us with the room remodel and redesign that I know some of you were at when we held our grand opening in February. They continue to help us as we do the final phases of transforming that classroom so that it's a much more professional, business-like atmosphere for the students instead of a classroom. And lastly, there was some special donors that helped make that possible. Those donations began with some initial donations on behalf of John and Carol Winkle and Joe and Pat Novak by all their children. We had additional donations from Chris and Kristen Beamer in honor of Kristen's service on the Board of Ed for Batavia. And lastly, the foundation was able to share some funds on behalf of the Marilyn Robinson Memorial, and she was an educator and author in Batavia for many years. So at this point in time, I need to hand it off to Catherine Fitch, who's our chair of the Batavia Foundation for Educational Excellence.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you, Dan. First of all, I'd just like to say I'm so proud to be a part of this organization, the Batavia Foundation for Educational Excellence. And in partnership with the school district, we feel that we are helping to enrich the education for students by fostering innovation in education, expanding student opportunities, and facilitating community and school partnerships. This incubator program is a perfect example of how the foundation has helped support the district. And through the foundation, we work with sponsors to help make events possible, like tonight's pitch night. I'd like to personally thank the following sponsors who really did make tonight possible. Lamp Incorporated, Alarm Detection Systems, White & Company, Scariano, Himes, and Petrarca, attorneys at law, Quest, Whitlaw, Employee Resource Services, Batavia Education Association, Interiors for Business, BFC Printing, Lighthouse Marketing, Batavia Fine Arts Center, and BATV. Lastly, I'd like to specifically thank Jen Brenz and Andrew Van Meter for all of their work in creating the videos for tonight's event, and Jen for making this something I can read without my cheaters, and also to Dominic Catero for putting on this event, helping us with this in the Fine Arts Center, and just setting this all up to look as fabulous as it does. So your work is very appreciated. Thank you, everyone.
All right, Catherine, didn't she do great? All right, how about Brian? How wonderful job. Thank you for all the sponsors and everybody involved. Well, it's my pleasure at this time to announce our esteemed panel of judges. First of all, starting, we'll go from this side to this side. I would ask the judges, a little wave, a bow, maybe a little tap dance, something that makes you stand out as a judge. Loosen up our great students to get ready to come on stage. We're going to start with Mr. Mike Gasperi. Mike has been the athletic director and head football coach for several years at Batavia High School. It's great to have you, Mike. All right, next is Bobby Hubbard. Mr. Hubbard. Known Bob for a long time. Bob is esteemed and brings a lot of talent to the students and the experience he had as a business owner here in Batavia. Next is Mike Manella, man after my own heart, insurance executive. Nice job, Mike. Brings a lot of experience as well. Janet Nelson, ladies and gentlemen. Janet is an executive trainer, facilitator, and coach, and brings a lot of knowledge to these students as well. Next, we have Kara Newkirk. Kara is an entrepreneur here in the city of Batavia with Creative and the White Plate Creative. I'm sorry, Kara, and working with a lot of folks to advance their business as well. I'm sure, obviously in creative ways, right? Next is Matt Novak. Matt is the president of BFC here in Batavia, a longtime family-owned business here in Batavia, along with his brothers. And then Joanne Smith, our acclaimed principal here at Batavia High School. And not judging, but hanging out with us in the end, after she's already done a wonderful job, is Catherine Fitch. So thank you all. What a great panel of judges. Okay. All right. Is everybody ready? All right. Well, let me tell you a little bit about tonight. All right. So tonight is, you've probably seen various entrepreneurial shows on TV and so forth, where the contestants get up in there and they beg for some type of financing and so forth. Well, we're not necessarily going to go that route. What we're going to do is encourage and celebrate the great work and effort done in a year-long work of these students and those that have been mentoring and coaching them along. The judges will be asking questions, and then at the end of the evening, and your applause afterwards, and maybe the sound of that applause, the heightness of that applause may influence these judges a little bit as the night goes on. But there'll be the 4 teams, and those 4 teams will be measured by the judges, and then the judges will convene at the end, and they'll come up with an award for them. This award is a monetary award, and the award is for them to advance this concept and advance this idea. We're really fortunate here in Batavia to have this program. This is a tremendous asset to this community, a tremendous asset to our students that are in this state, and we got tremendous dedicated faculty and coaches delivering it every day. So thank you very much. All right, so untypical. Now, there's a little business matter here. There's a white envelope that you all have. This is very important, and this is my fun begging moment, okay? I get to beg you. Every incremental amount matters. I've started it already, so there's some cash in here, but I ask you to be kind so we can do this program and continue to support these kids in their endeavors moving forward. So, now some of you might say you don't have a check in your pocket or you may not have some cash. Now the good news is we've got a square out in the lobby, so during the break, I'll gladly accept your credit cards and any kind of donation you'd like to make. Okay, everyone good with that? All right, fantastic. Well, let's get going because really the real stars tonight are about to get on stage, and we're going to start with group number 1, the Navigators. Come on up.
Hi, my name is Dylan Ransky and I'm a junior.
My name is Joe Corno and I'm a junior.
My name is Travis Allen and I'm a junior.
My name is Colin Stolfa and I'm a junior.
My name is Mason Pfeiffer and I'm a junior, and we are Navigators.
Our team's business idea is a gaming social media where gamers can connect to other gamers so that they can create groups.
We arrived at this business idea because a lot of us play video games and sometimes we don't have very many people to play video games with, so we decided that having a way to find other people to play video games with would be a very good idea.
Being able to start your own business in your way.
We got to connect with real-life business individuals and get the perspective of what it's actually like out in the business world. So we got to learn a lot about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Navigators!
Hello, my name is Joe Corno. I'm a junior and I play FIFA 17.
Hi, I'm Colin Stolfa. I'm a junior and I play PlayerUnknown.
Hi, I'm Travis Allwin. I'm a junior and I play NBA 2K17.
Hello, my name is Dylan Duransky. I'm a junior and I play Call of Duty.
Hi, my name is Mason Pfeiffer. I'm a junior and I play Counter-Strike. So how Navigators all started was one day I was sitting at home, I was playing on my computer and I thought to myself, man, I don't really have very many people to play with. So I thought, what a great idea to have our own way to match each other and find different friends to play video games with.
So to put this problem into a real world perspective, imagine you're playing a pickup sports game and there's someone that comes along who's not as good as everybody else. It makes the game less fun. Or you're on vacation with your family and that weird uncle comes along and the vacation's a little weird after that. So it's not fun to be with these people. So to bring this back into a gaming world, gamers are unable to find compatible friends to play with. And in other words, they can't find people who match their skill level and or interest level and are often left playing alone. And the solution is quite simple, a website-based gamer matching service.
So we have a professional website in development for us by an NIU student, but here's a quick look at how our product would work. It starts off with a simple sign up with your username and email, your age, what platform you use, also the games you play, and your gamer characteristics. We'll use this to find an email for you, and then we'll look at your characteristics, what game you play, the platform, and we'll email you with the match.
So our main competitors are Gamers to Gamers, and that's where you can trade items with other people in-game, and Steam, which is a marketplace where you can buy games, and Twitch is a streaming service where you can watch other people play video games. What's unique about us is we are convenient and simple. We make it easy to connect with other people with our website. We're free, and everybody likes free stuff. And we also help improve people's skills because we connect people with people around the same skill level as them.
So here we have a quick graph. So this is views by the millions of the NBA championships, which is the blue bar, MLB World Series championships, which is the orange, and League of Legends, which is the green, which is a computer game. And as you can see, focusing specifically on 2015, League of Legends, the computer game, has had way more viewers in the finals. And a lot of people don't know that this many people actually watch video games online, but this just really shows that the market is bigger than most people think.
Around the world, there are 1.2 billion people who play video games, which is kind of crazy to think about, so this is a big market for us to work with. Our target market is primarily male gamers, ages 13 to 30, and across all platforms like PC, PS4, or Xbox. And 87% of people do not like in-game matchmaking services, so like if you're playing Call of Duty and you play with someone that you don't like, that's what that is.
The total addressable market that we could possibly achieve is roughly $10.9 billion, which we know is an overestimate, but we get that from the 1 billion people who play video games worldwide, 78% of which play online, and 70% play online, 78% use social media. But then we have the serviceable addressable market, which is a little cut off right now on the screen. But that we got rounded down from the 2% of people that spend money on apps. The revenue streams in which we will make money off our product are the premium service and advertisements on the website. Our premium service will essentially eliminate ads and create better matchmaking, giving you more matches and more compatible people. The 3-year projection that we have is 500 users in the first year, which we estimate will increase by 20% annually. We also found that through our survey that 53% of people will pay for our premium and 38% of people will pay more than $1 for it. Through the minimum viable product, we validated our pivot from an entire gaming social media to simply a matchmaking service and really simplified our idea.
So here at the school, we ran a video game event. It's called Super Smash Bros. Melee. This is a fighting style game that we had the guys who attended, they took on each other 1v1. There was about 45 people that showed up to our event. Here on the left, you can see we had a casual screen for just the guys that were waiting for their turn to play the 1v1. That's where they just kind of go and play and hang out. And then on the right, you can see the big screen in the cafeteria that all the finals matches were on and most of the 1v1s were on.
So the reasons we held this event, reasons we held this event, first off, it was a real-life demonstration of our product, but obviously not online. So we were able to connect people that had the same interests in Super Smash Bros. And roughly around the same skill level to get them to meet each other and see if they would actually connect. And the second reason, it was a great way to market our idea. We passed out wristbands to every single participant as well as t-shirts to the two best players. And then we got more data points out of it. So at the end of this tournament, we sent out a survey to all the participants, and we got great results from that. The ways we got the word out about the tournament, first off, the school announcements. We had a script for the school announcements, so everyone who was listening, some people don't listen, but after the pledge, whoever was listening, they heard about like the time and place of our event, which was in the cafeteria after school. And we also passed out flyers during lunch, and we tweeted things from our Navigators Twitter. So here's a little pie chart that we gathered from our survey after the tournament. 80% of people met someone new at the tournament, and every single person out of that 80% said that they would follow up with that person again, either if they were going to hang out with them or play games with them. The overall reaction, everyone was super excited. I've never seen a group of people be more excited about something. Right when the TV turned on, they all jumped up and ran over to go play. And afterward, I had many people come up to me and ask if we could hold another event like this. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that this year because we had other stuff that we were really busy with, but next year we're definitely thinking about it. This is a picture of Colin, the winner, Marco, who's actually from Oswego High School, so somehow the word jumped over to a different high school, which is incredible, and we gave him a shirt and a trophy as well, so he was really good, and we got to explain to him what our idea was one-on-one, which was great. Marketing strategies that we've done, we emailed every single student at Batavia High School with our survey, and we got 231 responses. They were all very positive. We put posters in the hallways, so anyone who was going from class to class got to see our Twitter. We advertised our survey and our name and everything. And then we had t-shirts that we gave to people and wristbands, which we actually brought some for the judges tonight, so Colin's going to hand them out to you guys. So on the front, it is our name and our logo, and then on the back has our website. And then the plans for the future, one of the things is cut off, but it's okay. I remember it. So first off, we're going to co-advertise with companies such as GameStop or something like that. And then we're also going to go to gaming events such as a tournament or a convention. There's a lot of conventions that gamers like to go to, and we could advertise our name there as well.
So our plans for the future are to develop a website and app that's fully functional where it doesn't take us emailing someone to get their match to them. And we also want to form an LLC to protect our corporation. And we want to trademark our name and logo. And we also want to start a crowdsourcing campaign to also fund us towards the future. So what immediate resources we need now are $1,000 to form our LLC and $275 each to trademark our logo and our name. That comes to a total of $1,550.
So we had a student at BHS make a short promotional video for us.
Do you want to play video games with someone who is as skilled as you are? Do you like connecting with new players around the world? Do you wish to play with a fun group of new friends? Well, we surveyed 231 local gamers and got great results. 1.2 billion people play video games worldwide. 90% of people surveyed would use Navigators if it was a free website. Head over to Navigators.com right now and fill out our sign up to be matched up with someone who is your skill level.
All right. Sign up for Navigators today. Thank you.
All right, judges, what questions do you have for Navigators? Something tells me these guys really have a knack for this product, huh? A little experience, maybe?
A little bit.
Yeah? How about you in the audience, huh? You know someone who could like this product here? Come on, bring it up, bring it up. Everybody in this room knows somebody that likes to game, and they may be lonely looking for someone else to game that's like them. That's what they do, right? So judges, what do you have?
What role did each of you play in the formation of the company? And if you were to move forward with the company, what role would each of you play?
Well, as the kind of founder of the company and I had the idea, I would be the CEO.
Yeah, very bold statement. But we kind of assigned roles like midway through the class, but that was just kind of a way to get us organized. We all pitched in with every stepping stone that we did. We all helped each other out. But that's a great question, like what we all did. I was officially assigned the marketing executive, so I handled mostly like creating the wristbands, managing the Twitter, stuff like that.
I was kind of a jack of all trades. I helped with everything, but I also was supposed to like help form the final presentation.
What I did, I was kind of the organizer, so I helped organize the Super Smash Bros. Event and like the date and sent out all the emails.
And I was the financials person.
Guys, I should preface my question by saying that I guess I'm a dinosaur in the gaming world, or maybe I'm probably a deceased dinosaur, actually. But I guess my concern would be, as a parent, how do you protect younger children? I think I saw 13 years old maybe on the screen in terms of your survey. How do you put parents at ease in terms of protecting kids that may use this service?
Yeah,
I think it's outstanding. It's a great idea. That may be a concern. There wasn't a lot of clapping initially behind me because these people are all dinosaurs in regard to the gaming world too, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a great question actually. And what we would do is when you make your profile, you would put in your age. So, and if you're like 13, say maybe under 18 years old, you'd have to verify it with your parents' email, so your parents would know that you're saying your right age, you're not pretending you're 20 or whatever. And so that way when we're matching people, we're not going to match a 13-year-old with a 28-year-old. We're going to match a 13-year-old with a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old. So that's our best way we could probably do that.
Thank you. Got a quick question. You had mentioned a website. First of all, great job. I think the presentation was great and the idea is great. I'm wondering why you wouldn't start with an app rather than a website. I mean, you guys surfing the web much, or are you just all app-based in your normal life?
Well, initially we thought an app is extremely expensive to make. It's around, when we researched it, was around $200,000 to develop a full app, professional-looking app. So a website is much cleaner and easier and also cheaper to make.
Okay.
Okay, how about a round of applause? Great job, team number one. Great job. Thank you, judges. Great questions. Do we have any last standing questions from the judging panel? Yes, Kara.
I just had a quick question. I am not a gamer and certainly not in your demographic, but I was curious, you mentioned the characteristics as a way that you would match people. What are those characteristics that you're looking at?
So what we're looking at is competitive fun. People that want to be competitive in games, they're going to want to be matched with competitive people, but people that kind of just want to have fun and kind of hang out with other people and just game casually, that's something for them.
So is that on your screen of like what people would be responding to on the survey?
Yes.
Along with the age.
Yeah, on the sign up there is a gaming characteristics that you can enter.
And you also referred to skill level, that you would try to match people by skill level. Is that self-reported? I mean, how would you know a gamer's skill level? Just out of curiosity.
Well, at first, they would have to put it in, but if we could develop a fully functional app, we could connect it to the games, and each game has its own skill level for each player.
That dinosaur thing. Just one other question along those lines. I also noticed the age breakdown. And would your last grouping really be 25 plus? I mean, maybe 60-somethings aren't playing games, but I'm guessing people in their 30s and 40s and 50s might be. So did you talk about that at all, or was just...
Well, the way we looked at it is people that are under the age of 18, they're going to be matched with other people that are also under the age of 18. But once you start breaking it up into the older age ranges, people aren't really going to care if it's a 40-year-old playing with a 30-year-old. So we didn't really think that those
So you
age
thought it
differences
through.
mattered.
Yeah, great, thank you.
I'm just a little curious of why your target is just males and not females. Is the male gaming predominantly males?
Yeah, for the most part it is males. We actually, when we sent out the survey to the school, I would say, what was it, 80-something% of the responses were male. And through further research online, we've found that it's mostly males, so we thought that was the best market to target. We could, I mean, of course we accept females on the app as well and on the website, but males is who we're actually going after.
Okay, awesome. Well, we're going to wrap this up and move on. I want to congratulate you, gentlemen. You did a wonderful job. And guys, sometimes dinosaurs are just never born, right? Great job, Navigators. Round of applause. All right, if you could point your attention to the monitors. The next up is the Docclock.
I am Craig Rowland, and I'm a senior.
I'm Andrew Esch, and I'm a senior.
I'm Josh Young, I'm a senior.
I'm Tyler Hahn, I'm a senior, and we're at Docclock. Our team's business idea is we're a real-time calendar app for doctor's offices, which would improve the wait time for patients.
Okay, so we arrived at Docclock because my mom takes my grandparents to the doctor all the time, and she'd come home and she'd always complain about how she had to sit there for a long time. So I said, hey, you know what? What if we had an idea to make that a lot more smoother and she didn't have to wait there and sit there for a long time? So that's how we came up with Docclock, to make sure that we didn't have to sit in the waiting rooms longer than we actually had to.
That it was a different feeling than a normal classroom.
The versatility of the class, just like how much free will you had and how everything was on you.
A bunch of different presenters coming in and teaching you all about their area of business and what that applied to our businesses, and so that helped us become more well-rounded as a company.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Docclock.
Well, we would like to thank everybody for coming out today. We're Docclock, and we're revolutionizing the way you wait.
So I'm Craig Rowland, and I'm the spokesperson for our group.
My name's Tyler Hahn. I'm more the manager for our group.
My name's Andrew Esch, and I'm the financial advisor for the group.
And I am Josh Young, and I'm the innovator of the group.
So here we have a little video to kind of show us what Docclock is and what we're all about. So the problem that we're trying to solve is that people are sitting in the waiting room, they're taking too much of their time because the doctor's running behind, so they're sitting there wasting most of their day in the doctor's office because they're not notified that the doctor is behind schedule. So the solution we have to that is a real-time calendar that will constantly update and notify the patient of their approximate waiting time, so you don't have to sit there and wait while people are coughing on this side of you, someone's sneezing on this side of you, so it just eliminates that awful thing that everybody hates, because we don't know everybody's been there before. So the benefits for patients that we have, so it reduces your stress, so you're not sitting there constantly thinking about like, what's wrong with me, like I've not been seen yet, so that just eliminates that. So you'll be limited waiting room time, so you get in and get out as fast as you can. So it leaves time for your other daily activities, so when you know that you have to be there at this certain time, so you're in and out, so you have more time for your day to do whatever you want to do. So then it also gives you an idea of when you'll be seen, so you don't have to frantically rush to get to another thing after, so you'll know that, hey, I'm going to be late because the doctor is running behind, so you can let the people know if you have to go somewhere after that you're going to be late because the doctor's running late. And then, of course, eliminates the thing that everybody hates the most is sitting in those waiting rooms, filling out that crossword for the 4th time. So benefits for doctor, which is obviously the most important thing, is it cuts down the complaints because we talked to some doctors and they said the number one complaint that they always get is wait time. So that cuts that other day, so it reduces their stress. And so when they don't have somebody breathing down their neck and just worried about someone complaining, they have more time for each patient so they can have a more better bedside manner so they get a full evaluation with the patient, make sure everything's all good. And then when that happens, patients will be more happy. So then when patients are happy, they go online, they talk about, hey, this doctor is really good. So then that doctor's office gets a better online rating. And then so when nobody's complaining, it reduces the stress for everybody in the practice. So the doctors, nurses, administrators, they don't have to hear the patients just constantly hounding them, when am I going to be seen? And then when everybody knows that they have time to do what they need to do, it will run more efficiently and everybody will be more happy.
So, fortunately enough, we were able to meet Dr. Michael J. Fremgen through our business associate and good friend, Mr. Junker over there. He's one of the leading physicians at Fox Valley Family Physicians. He said he loved our idea and would be willing to do a free trial over the summer once we got our software up and running. He also helped us with many things, anywhere between the price point and the actual, just different things with the price point and selling points.
We have a website up and running that will give you a general synopsis of what it's like to actually use our product. So this is our inviting homepage, and this is what you will see when you first enter Docclock. And as you can see here, at the top there are tabs that can lead you to where you need to go to subscribe, or if you need to use any of our other services for the website.
This is what our screen would look like once you've actually signed up. So you'd see you have a scheduled time at 3:45, but you're actually going to be seen at 4:20 because the doctor's running 35 minutes late. So without Docclock, you'd be sitting there for 35 minutes not knowing what to do. This is another, it kind of got cut off, but if there's another appointment and it was to be you were to be seen at 3:45 and the doctor could see you at 3:30, you could go there 15 minutes early and get that out of your way already. And then you'd also have the upcoming appointment at, you have to see the chiropractor in a month and it'll give you your scheduled time for that. This is what the patient portal would look like. You'd enter your name, phone number, email, and that way we'd know when to send you updates. Also, you'd get a PIN number that each doctor would have, and you could enter his PIN number, and that way you know who is who, or which doctor is which doctor. Then we'd have the doctor portal, which is extremely similar. Just their name, phone number, email, just kind of know who is who and what is what.
So there are a few different markets we have. So our total addressable market for the United States is 925,000 doctors. And for Illinois, it's 40,000 doctors. And our serviceable addressable market, which is what we're actually going to be marketing to, is 50 miles around Batavia, and there are 7,000 doctors. So how would we make the money? There's a $60 subscription fee for each doctor in each practice. And there's an average number of 6 doctors per practice. The other way we'd make money is through advertisements. The cost per click in 2016 is $2.14. That's every time someone views your an advertisement on your website and clicks it, you get $2.14. The average click-through rate is 1%, so that's every time someone views your ad, they have a 1% chance of clicking it. So that would make our revenue per 1,000 impressions $20. These are some of our 5-year subscription numbers. We expect in year 1 to have 100 subscribers per month, which would total to 72,000 and so on. We grow quite exponentially. And by year 5, we hope to get 5,000 subscribers a month for $3.6 million. So what we would need to get the business up and running today is $5,000 for administrative costs. That's the licensing, the insurance, and kind of stuff like that. Development, which is the website and the software development, would cost around $6,500. And then marketing would cost around $2,000, and we would mainly put that into social media and Google advertisements. We also have $3,000 in reserve costs, just in case we need to go over for like the software or website, and that brings us to a total of $17,000.
What we're asking for to just get our company up and going, kind of started, we want to make a LLC, which will cost us about $500 in Illinois. And then we also want to start our patent fee, or just start it, and that would cost us about $1,000. So for tonight, we're asking for $1,500.
So moving forward in the not too distant future would be, as it gets more successful, we could move to other medical services such as a dentist, because we know they run late a lot, and then chiropractors, so the other medical doctors, and then other markets as well. So auto repair, you find yourself sitting there a lot. You never know when you're going to be seen for your car to be ready. And then also internet and TV providers, because they give you like 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Like you don't know when, so they'll constantly update, so you'll know when to be home. And then then you can obviously. The 5,000 doctors was only a little bit of the serviceable, addressable market, so if we just expand that, we can get many more doctors just through that. And then eventually, after the software and the website are completely finished, then we can get the app up and running, because that does take a little more money, so that'll be a lot more efficient once we get the app up and running as well.
We'd like to thank everybody out for coming out tonight, and we just want you to remember, everyone wins when you're on time, and you will always be on time with Docclock.
All right, way to go, gentlemen. Now, how many of you like to hang out in the doctor's office and someone coughing next to you, child crying, how many people? Okay, how many in the room would like for their doctor to use this solution? Oh, we got an audience, boys. All right, judges, our esteemed judging panel will now ask the questions.
Who developed your website for you?
So our mentor Damon Morse, it
was like a template or something we had, and he had an extra server set up because he does that with his own companies. So he's offered to just let us throw one up there, and that's what we did.
Perfect. So you're all seniors.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you talked a lot about moving forward. Can you talk about how that would look for your team?
We're thinking about adding like an extra member who would be by, like running like the daily activities through, and we obviously come home a lot from college, so we'd meet up once we got home, and then if there was other business matters that we need to attend to, we can like Skype, FaceTime, other matters that we just need to get through to make this business jump, because we have the summer to get everything running. So, but when we got into the fall, we would do Skype calls and other meetings that we can meet up, because we'll be relatively close, I would say.
Fortunately enough for us, this isn't really a product that we need to all be at the same place to sell. It's more of a service, and we can all just have logins and be able to distribute it to different doctor's offices throughout. I know, like I'm personally going to Tennessee next year, so I could go down there and start selling it. We don't all need to really be together. It's almost a plus that we're all kind of moving to different places.
So to your credit, you already answered some of the questions I had jotted down in later slides, so thank you for doing that. I don't know if you're planning on doing more interviews with your target market, but I couldn't help as I was listening to you thinking, it's wonderful that you've talked to some doctors, however many some is, and that you talked to Dr. Fremgen, but realistically speaking, it won't be the doctors who are doing this. It will be the admins in their office or their nurses, or so. What are your comments around that?
Okay, so one of the more important points that we talked to Dr. Fremgen about was the point that it would not be manually entered, so we figured it out through his software that he does use. So when the patient checks in, as a running clock of when they got there and how long they've been waiting. So what we figured out was we would be able just to take that and mirror that and bring it to the app, so you'd have a running calendar of the time that each person is waiting, so it would give you a more approximate time, so it's a lot easier and it's more, it'd be like the Android basically controlling it for you, so nobody would have to be manually entering and no more manual labor for anybody in the office, so that's a big plus for us.
Perfect, thank you.
A follow-up to that, so that would be like integrating with their existing scheduling software?
Yes. So
have you looked into those different companies and which ones are leaders in that part of the business?
Yeah, we've done research on different, Dr. Fremgen actually gave us some names of the big companies that everybody in the area uses, and we figured we would just have to come in contact with them and see if they have an IPA set up or if we would need to pay them to set up an IPA. But yeah, once we had that set up, and we would just have to mirror their information, we could even possibly go into business with them and give them a percentage if they were to get us.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. That's what I was referring to. So.
Yep.
So guys, as Mike Fremgen takes this on this summer, is that correct to say?
Not necessarily this summer, once we actually get the software.
Okay,
yeah.
so, but he's agreed to,
Yep.
okay. And obviously he has other physicians in his practice that he works with, so there'd be pressure on those physicians to jump on board with this as well, correct? So is there the potential then for this to just continue to expand, even through word of mouth, obviously?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think through the next 5 years we'd be able to exponentially grow. So I think once we get one doctor, it's easier to get two doctors. Once you get two doctors, then essentially getting maybe a Del Nor's office or something that has 5,000 doctors in their one office. So that's, I think, once you get one doctor, it's easier to multiply that way.
A quick question, and great job on your presentation. You had mentioned marketing through social media and Google Ads, I believe. Are you marketing to doctors, or are you marketing to patients in hopes that they go in and request this type of service from their office?
We're marketing more to the doctors because it is more helping them, and we have done surveys before, and I just think it would be too much of a gap or too much work for the patients to have to download a 50-cent app, $1 app. I think it would just be easier. We all think it would just be easier to make the doctor pay for it because it's more benefiting them in their business. Everybody's going to have to go to the doctor's office either way.
Right, so when we do talk to a doctor and they find out about it, then when it is on the internet and they hear about it, then the patients, if they do like stumble upon it, then they could talk to their doctor about it, and then when the doctor does hear about it from their patients, they'll take it into consideration much more when their patients coming in to see it, because I feel like if a doctor's office were to have it and a new person moves in and there's Dr. A and Dr. B, and a Dr. A does have Docclock and Dr. B doesn't, I feel like a person who wouldn't have to wait as much would float to Dr. A rather than Dr. B.
So this is really well thought out. What have you talked about in terms of the gap between the 1,500 you're requesting and the 17,000 that you think you need?
I think just talking to different investors, Dr. Fremgen actually did say during our interview with him that he would be a possible investor if we talked about him. So I think if we keep getting the word out, more investors will come, and just trying to keep building it. Just keep gnawing at it, I guess.
Just one idea. When you look at pharmaceutical companies, when they've got new drugs and they put these ads out on TV or on the radio, really it's the doctor that has to prescribe the medication. So are you thinking about something, modeling it after something like that?
So with the advertisements, so for on the website, we were thinking about like having like Advil or like the new medications, like you said, that pops up on there. So if they do go to the doctor's office, they clicked on that ad and they do happen to have a sickness that the medicine would cure, they could talk to the doctor about it. So then that medicine would get more word of mouth to the doctor. They'd be more likely to prescribe it because the patient is wanting that.
Okay, judges, any more questions? Mr. Novak?
Well,
was curious if the response to the patient is like a text. Do you get a text like United Airlines, for example? If your flight's late, it lets you know via text rather than an email.
We're initially going to start off with a text and email update because it's a lot cheaper to start up that way. And then in the future, we're going to look to get an app which will have more features such as an online check-in, maybe have your prescription on there. Further, we're still brainstorming ideas for the app, but yeah, it will start off as an initial text email notification.
Yeah, and the app as well, if you are waiting there, if you did get there around time and they are running late, they'll also have like a map of places nearby like Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and they could advertise as well. So if you're sitting there and you need more time, they can go, you can grab a cup of coffee while you wait, so you don't have to be sitting in that terrible waiting room.
Are our judges good? All right, everybody, how about Docclock? Everyone wins when you're on time. Thank you, guys. Good job. Isn't it just tremendous to see these young men and women get up here and deliver such a concise story and a well-thought-out solution? I just really hope I'm not waiting in the doctor's office much longer. We're going to take a 10-minute break. At that 10-minute time, I would like to ask that you remember your white envelope or the square that's out in the lobby at the foundation desk. Important for this program. We have tremendous support from this community, and we're very fortunate to have this program in our community. So let's keep it going strong. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We're going to come back, and we're going to see a nice video from Mr. Beamer talking about his experience in the incubator program. Enjoy your break. Refreshments are in the lobby.
Hi, my name is Chris Beamer. I'm a Batavia resident for 27 years. I'm a team mentor for Direct Dial, a team in this year's incubator program. Being a team mentor is just an opportunity to participate in the lives of high school students and in kids that probably don't see the outside world the same way we do as adults. And particularly in this class, it's been a great opportunity to help them see what it is that's beyond the four walls of Batavia High School or even outside of the community of Batavia. One of the most positive experiences we had was a trip that we took to the Jewel Osco headquarters. And because of the project that this team is working on, they needed a subject matter expert. They needed to talk to someone who's actually in the business. And when they explained what their pitch was to the people at Jewel Osco, the excitement level from the three product managers and marketing managers at the Jewel was amazing. They were all over this idea, and they had a number of ideas about how this tool could be used that went well beyond the original intent of the idea, and the lights went off. And to see that, and to see how giddy they were coming out of the meeting that we had with the Jewel, to go from that point to our idea has a lot of merit. This is going to be a lot of fun. That was extremely rewarding. The incubator program is a great idea. Being able to have them participate in a class, it's not just about book learning, but it's really an experience-based learning. And for them to see something that has a lot of practical application in their lives going forward has been one of the most exciting aspects of this program. And it's one that I'm really excited about, and that I hope that not only Batavia continues, but I would love to see more schools take on.
Okay, welcome back. Round of applause for Mr. Beamer. Nice job. If you could please stand and wave at the crowd. Thank you for all your efforts with the team. Well, it's with great pleasure and my honor to introduce a good friend of mine, Mr. Dennis Puron, the instructor of the incubator program, and would love to say a few words.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Dennis Puron. I'm the incubator instructor for this past year. I want to thank Batavia High School, Brian Gamlin, Joanne Smith for asking me to do this year with a little apprehension, but I will tell you off script here already, this is like coaching a game, Coach Gaspari. I'm extremely nervous. I feel like I'm going to throw up the entire time that I'm here, and It's kind of emotional, to be honest. I'm extremely proud of the growth of all of the kids in the classroom, the teams that aren't here as well. And nice to see the friendships that were formed and the relationship part of this that, you know, I know we don't talk about much tonight, but was really a wonderful byproduct of the class. The coaches and mentors that came into our classroom were wonderful. The people that work with our students, outstanding, and really is a unique experience to have on a regular basis. Business professionals in your building working in that environment. I think you know, you can't really relate it to anything else that I've seen done so far. There were some unique things that occurred as a result of this program that weren't directly related to them trying to prove their idea, their concept. Some connections that were made. Northern Illinois University, Dennis Barcima got to speak to our group, a world-renowned entrepreneur who's in the business school is named after, spent time with our kids talking about social entrepreneurism, which I thought was very, very cool. We spent time at Aurora University pitching to their programmers to take us on to build applications for us that I thought was very unique. The companies that they've gotten to meet with, try to get in contact with, try to climb the corporate ladder with. Some of those experiences, as they mentioned, from Northwestern Medicine to Fox Valley Family Physicians to Jewel Osco, State Farm Insurance, and things like that, that really didn't, I didn't understand or expect to happen. Turning Machine and Sports Illustrated, one of our groups has been working with the founder of an app for that, and just unique offshoots in addition to the incredible creative people, marketing professionals that these boys and young lady, Julianne back there, got to work with. Speaking of that, I'll make this push right now. Ladies, you're out there. Female students at Batavia High School, we need you. Okay, we need you in this program. So it's my personal plea, we need more of you to sign up. I've been told by our principal this evening that you can change your schedules right now, if you need to. Right at this moment, she'll do it for you. If you want to sign up for INCubator next year. A special exception has been made, is that correct? Absolutely. Yes, that's the way you sell out live, now you can say no. So, thank you so much for that. So anyhow, without further ado, because I know they're antsy, I'd like our next group to start. So Dan, if you could, thank you very much.
All right, nice round of applause for Dennis Puron. We're really lucky to have his dedication in this class, and it is really rewarding to see how far these students have come and done such a wonderful job, and that starts with leadership in the classroom. So another round of applause for Dennis Puron as the instructor of the program. Well, we are ready to get ready to go. So all right, are you ready to see the next two teams? All right, remember this is a live studio audience. Are we ready to see the next two teams? Yeah. There we go, now we're talking. All right, please pay attention to the monitor for links.
I'm Nick Canello, and I'm a junior.
I'm Keegan Thompson, and I'm a junior.
I'm Carson Moline, and I'm also a junior.
I'm Jack Bohr, and I'm also a junior.
I'm Tim Meiker, and I'm a junior, and we are Lynx.
Our team's business idea is to match people up with other people looking to play the same sport or activity as them, and it's also to promote a healthy lifestyle with people looking to get outside of the house and play sports. We thought of our idea for Lynx because we all like sports, but we all kind of sometimes struggled with like getting people together to play. So we thought if we had a service to use to get people together, it'd be a lot easier. So that's how we came up with it.
Real world experience and more, I guess, exposure to what it's really like to be an entrepreneur.
How it's so unique compared to the other classes that are offered at the high school. And I really like the unique setting, especially with the new classroom we got.
Be able to pick a business idea that's something that we're passionate about.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lynx!
All right, well, first of all, on behalf of everyone at Lynx, we'd like to thank the judges and the audience and the BFAC and BATV for putting on this wonderful event. So, yeah, but without further ado, this is the Lynx team. I'm Jack Bohr. This is Carson Moline, Keegan Thompson, Tim Mykert, and Nick Canella. I'm going to turn it over to our idea man, Carson Mellon, and he's going to tell you guys a little bit about how we thought of our idea.
Okay, so our group came together because we all share the same passion for sports. All of us here grew up playing sports, and sports will always be a big part of our lives. I personally, between 8th grade and freshman year, quit playing 3 sports: wrestling, baseball, and football. I just thought high school sports these days were all about winning and not about just simply having fun. After I stopped playing sports, I had so much time on my hands. But after a while, I started to miss the sports that I grew up with. But I did not want to go back to playing for the school, and I did not want to join another long-term commitment for a sport. This is when I discovered the beauty of pickup sports. Pickup sports are great because they're one and done, which means no long-term commitment. Pickup sports are also great because they focus on the true fun of sports, whereas in a league, people focus on winning. The coaches always preach to the athletes to win the game, to try your hardest. But in pickup sports, people really try to play them because they just want to enjoy the sport that they love. And also, pickup sports are a great exercise, but not just an exercise, a fun exercise, because everyone would rather be playing their favorite sport than doing a workout or running on a treadmill. But there's a problem with pickup sports, and that is that some people find it difficult to find others to play with, because not anyone can find 5 other people to play 3-on-3 basketball, or not anyone can find 3 other people to play a round of golf with. And sports also conflict with very busy schedules. The solution for this problem is Links, and that is our service, which is a mobile app that organizes pickup sports. And to show how our app will work, we have a quick video to show you.
With Links, you will be able to find people around your location who are also looking to play the particular sport you choose. If you wanted to find a game of pickup basketball but don't know where to start, you can pull up our app and browse through options of games at various locations. Once you select a location, you will be given access to an online chat room with the other people who have signed up for the same game. Once you're in the chat room, you can discuss what time you want to play at. After each game, you can leave a star rating on other players based on their friendliness. This will build a reputation for yourself, other players, and also make for a friendlier matchmaking experience. With Links, getting in shape has never been more enjoyable.
So the main function of our app is to match people together by profile. When a user first downloads our app, the first thing they do is create that profile. And on this, they will put their age, the sports they want to play, and the experience they have in each sport. And then once they create their profile, they'll have the option to either find a group or create a group. Both of these methods will put them into our matchmaking process, which uses location services, which is just GPS to ensure they play with people in their location, and a skill-based algorithm, which makes sure they play people in their age group and their experience level in that sport.
Okay, so our biggest competitor is Meetup. Meetup is an app that provides a wide variety of activities for the user to participate in. These activities include dog walking, frisbee, fishing, or basically any recreational activity. And we here at Links have an edge over them because we are much more sports-centric than Meetup, whereas Meetup offers that wide variety. It can be kind of overwhelming for the user, which would lead them to abandon the app. Our second competitor is INCubator. Now, INCubator does basically what we do, matching other people to play sports with each other, except they're more of a social media for upcoming athletes, where we're more of centered around amateur gameplay and kind of just anyone looking to go have some fun.
At Links, we have a pretty simple mission. Obesity in the United States has reached over 30%. And our goal at Links is to make sports and everyday activities, or I shouldn't say everyday activities, more sporting activities, exercise, easier to do. We also want to bring people outside because that coincides with people exercising. The way we will accomplish our mission is by creating an app. Our app will incorporate social interaction with sports with an emphasis on social interaction. We will focus on bringing people together as opposed to bringing people to businesses. Our target market is mostly people looking to connect with each other, people looking to play sports, people looking to get out of the house, and people looking to get out and exercise. The numbers are pretty simple. There are 57 million millennials who've played sports at one time in their life which no longer play them. This is our total addressable market, or TAM. This represents the market we're directing our product at. Based on our market research, we believe that 78% of this target market will be interested in what we're offering them. In creating our app, we met with the founder of Turning Machine, Todd Lawler, and he actually told us that he's seen what we're trying to do. He's seen it before, which initially was disheartening because we thought we were one of a kind, first to do it. But what Todd told us is that he thinks if we shifted our focus to person-to-person interaction by matching people to people as opposed to people to businesses, he thinks we could really succeed where others have failed. Our business plan is simple. We'll start small using two sports, basketball and golf, which are very popular among recreational athletes. We'll stay initially in the Chicagoland area with a pricing structure of $1 an app in addition to ads on the app. Our financial projections is that we believe we can have 1,000 downloads of our app in the Chicagoland area in our first year. This will give us $3,000 from advertising with an additional $1,000 from the initial $1 purchase. The growth potential is huge for this app. Apps either grow slow or they blow up. We believe Lynx is one of the apps that can blow up. With this rate, if our app blew up, we'd make $80,000 by year 5. Our app, instead of asking all of you for money, what we're aiming to do is to meet with an app developer and pitch to our app developer to become a partner with us. So our app developer would control 40% of the company, and each of us would control 12. So all of us together would still be the majority shareholder. To test our product and to give back to the community, we organized a basketball tournament, and all the proceeds went to the Wounded Warrior Project. The tournament was a huge success with over 1,000 people and over $300 raised for charity. Some more pictures of the tournament. And so this was the data gathering we did after the MVP pitch. And from the tournament, which was 105 people, 90% said they'd be interested in our app, where 71% said they would pay $1 for our app. Millennials in the community were people we interviewed outside of the tournament. 75% of them would be interested, and 68% would pay $1. Again, thank you judges for your time, and that was our presentation.
All right, a nice round of applause for Lynx. At this time, we'd like to move to our judges panel with some esteemed questions.
How did you guys get the 105 people to play basketball? What was your method of recruitment?
Really just, good old fashioned, just ground game, putting up posters, talking to people, just anything we could do to get people to come.
Was it like a chat that just went viral? I'm not sure how you guys communicate nowadays, like Snapchat or something that...
Nope, word of mouth, what we're using right now.
Okay.
Man's oldest communication tool.
Okay.
Guys, the fact that you're using golf as one of the sports that you're at least initially going to start this process with, I don't want you to sell yourselves short by just targeting millennials. I'm not, unfortunately. But I don't want to play golf alone either, because that would be the one time I might get a hole-in-one if I'm out on the golf course by myself. So, maybe think about expanding, at least for that. I can't run and jump anymore, so basketball, I think I mentioned that to you in January. And basketball is out of the picture for me, but golf would be something that I think would be interesting for even the elderly like I am.
Well, you're only 40, so, you can still get out there and play.
Thank you, sir.
But, so yeah, I think we definitely should have done a better job of communicating that millennials aren't our only market, they're just where we think Lynx will succeed the most, so that's why we emphasized it in the presentation.
So where did the 57 million millennials have given up any kind of formalized sports? I mean, I'm sure you researched it, I'm not questioning that, but where did that number come from?
I think it's on the bottom of the slide. There's a link to where the data came from. I know I know some of the data came from the Center for Disease Control because they had a big piece about it for obviously obesity. And so yeah, I think it's on the slide, but I can't tell you off the top of my head where it came from. Okay. So,
What would be the next steps moving forward that you guys are going to do?
our next step is finding a developer that'd be interested in partnering with us. That's basically because we can't move on to marketing until we have something to market. I mean, because we can market an idea all we want, but at the end of the day, people are going to be looking for an actual product to use. So until we get an app developed, that's our next step. That's the big thing. So.
Now, did I understand your figure that you're saying that in 5 years your income in that 5th year is going to be $80,000?
$80,000 profit.
Profit.
Yes.
Okay. That's not enough to put food on the table for 5 of you.
Yeah, I think the diciest thing for us has been the revenue stream so far. So I think Todd Lawler, we talked to him, and he says that's the biggest struggle with apps is because there's plenty of apps that are really well made and really well advertised, but really getting down the proper pricing structure is the biggest struggle. So that's another thing we've been looking at, and we will continue to look at moving forward.
So you're not looking for any money?
No. If we decide to move forward with our idea, we believe we have investors lined up to pay for we believe besides the app development, our costs would be basically negligible. So we have somebody who we believe would be interested in covering that. So.
Okay, are there any more questions from our judges?
So since Mr. Piron's trying to sell the program out there to our audience members, can you talk about just the best part of being in this class, or what you guys maybe learned the most about just being in this type of unique environment?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously this is a unique environment, and I think that's probably the biggest thing is it's really a big, just getting out of the classroom, and it's run so much differently than your everyday class that I think that's where a lot of the value in the program comes from, is where it's really putting you in a real business setting as opposed to, just sitting, reading from a textbook and listening to your teacher lecture all day. So, yeah.
Not that happens here.
No, I haven't seen it, but I heard about it, so.
At Geneva, right?
Yeah, St. Charles too.
Remember, this is a live broadcast. Can I get a great round of applause to the Lynx team? All right. What a wonderful job. I agree with you on the golf app. You're traveling, you don't have anyone to play with, you're goofy like me, you take your clubs with you, you're on a golf course by yourself, and then that would be the time to hit hole and run. No doubt about it. Okay, excellent. Well, this is last but not least, and this is really exciting because we've had 3 great presentations today, and we've got one just as equal coming up, and that is our next group. If you could pay attention to the monitors above and in front of you for direct aisle.
Hi, I'm Jackie Lane, and I'm a junior.
I'm Daniel Gillen, and I'm also a junior.
I'm Brandon Knapp, and I'm a junior. I'm Riley Kavanaugh, I'm also a junior, and our team name is Direct Dial.
Our team's business idea is how when people dislike, being in the grocery store, they spend forever. So what our plan is to send people through the grocery store by kind of routing it out. So then you have you go in a straight line, here's the milk, here's the eggs. So then you're not backtracking, and it helps you find all the items quicker.
So how we came out with this business idea was actually beginning in August when I had to shop for school supplies. I was taking Spanish 4 and I needed note cards. I tried searching it up, but it said that Target did not have the flashcards. And I'm like, wow, I really wish that there was an app out there that would help me, for example, a grocery list, and would be honest and would tell me where all the items are.
It's kind of just a new experience, different from any other class here at Batavia, and how we were able to leave class and kind of put our business into action in the real world.
it makes it seem like opening businesses is a lot more attainable than what it previously was.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the incubator stage, direct aisle.
Hello, I'm Riley Kavanaugh. This is Jack Gillerlane, Daniel Gillian, and Brandon Knapp. We're all juniors here at Batavia, and we make up direct aisle.
So how our story came to be actually was I came up with the idea, which like you saw in the video it was me looking for flashcards. So I wanted to know where they were at Target, so I downloaded an app called Shops, and what it did was it would help me locate where the flashcards were at Target, but I typed in flashcards, and unfortunately it told me that they weren't at Target, so I wanted to come up with an app that would help me guide me through my grocery list and would give me the most safest and most honest route.
All right, so basically the problem at hand here is wasting a lot of time in the grocery store. We've found that more and more people are starting to shop online nowadays, although most people still do prefer going into the physical store itself. So we're trying to create a solution for that so they can have an easier shopping experience.
So our solution was direct aisle, obviously, but we would like to make an app. Right now, we currently do have a website, but our goal is to get an app just because that would lead us to getting more data from them, and that's because Jewel would want that. And hopefully, so we would like direct aisle to help you save time, money, and frustration in a grocery store, and we hope that it would be a nice convenience to you.
Alright, so we made a little demonstration video, and in the video I'll be shopping without it, and Riley will be shopping with it. Oh, I forgot my list. I wish I could have it on my phone. There's the goldfish. It took me 30 minutes to find this.
Are you serious? I was in and out here in 5. You ever heard of direct aisle?
No, what's that?
Here, I'll show you. It's an app. Gets you in and out of the grocery store. Shows you the map. Shows you the route to take.
Really?
And bam, you're done.
That's impressive. I need to download that. Alright, so you can see that it was easier to shop with direct aisle. But we recently worked with a group of students from Aurora University, and they made a website that kind of mimicked what we want to happen. And so on the website, you can make an account, choose a store, create or delete a shopping list, search for an item by category, and locate that item. So this is the home page, and since none of you guys have an account, I thought I would go through the registering process. So in the upper right corner, you'd click register. And it would bring you here where you enter your name, your email address, and an account or a password for your account, and you just click done. And then it takes you here. And so 3 of us, while one of us overslept, not to name names, woke up at 6 a.m. and mapped out the entire Jewel Osco, like every item by aisle. And so we just did Jewel Osco since we have that data. And once you click that, it takes you here, and this is where you create your shopping list. But first you have to name it. So it goes here, and I just named it List 1, just for an example, but it says the date. It allows you to edit it, delete it, and also shop for it when you're done. And when you click the edit it, you first, I don't think you can see it, but you first click category, and it drops down all of them, and right now it's on breads. And then once you click breads, it'll drop down to the item bar, and I chose white bread, so once you click that, it adds it to your list at the bottom, and once you're done, you just click done, and it brings you back here. So you have the option to delete that, or you can shop for it, And so once you click shop for it, I just added a few more just to like show an example. But first it locates the item from little to big, so like when you first go in the entrance to the end. And then it says the side of the store, if it's in the front or the back, and the section, because aisles they are organized by 4 feet sections by item. And then it says if it's on the left or right side, and then all the way to the right there's a box, so while you're shopping you can check it if you got that item.
All right, so that would be phase 1, what Brandon explained right there. That's our current product. We want to have a couple more phases in the future. In phase 2, we want to include pop-up coupons. So you're walking down an aisle, buy the ketchup, you'll get a notification on your phone, and you'll get a coupon for ketchup. And then spending records, so you can see everything you've bought using our app. And not only directions while you're in the store, but directions to get you to the store from your current location. And then GPS tracking and memorization of shopping habits, because we've actually met with executives at Jewel Osco, and they've said if we can see where the customer goes most frequently in the store, that's valuable information to them, and they would be willing to pay a lot of money for that. And then in phase 3, we want to include a hands-free route. So instead of looking at your phone, you'll be able to put in some earbuds and it'll just talk to you. It's a little bit more convenient. Same with a smartwatch. We could have an app on a smartwatch you could look down instead of having to carry your phone around. And then we want to include pricing of items as well, so make it a little bit more convenient for the shopper. And a 3D map instead of a 2D map, so you can see the aisles, you can visualize it a little bit better. And then also, we want to be able to automatically refresh your planogram. So let's say the store reorganizes, we wouldn't have to map it out again. It would just automatically update the app. So it would be a lot more easier for us.
So I don't know about you, but for me, I hate shopping with such a passion. Maybe for some of those people who go shopping all the time and they think they know everything about the store. But what happens when they go to a store they haven't been to before? It's as frustrating as anything else. And they can't find anything, and they spend a half hour up to an hour, maybe even longer, which is what. And so we want our first customer segment would be the parents, because those are people who really, they don't have time to deal with the hassle of shopping. So we plan on selling it to them first, because I mean, if you have children whining to you, you just can't do it, and with no time or anything. So our opportunity, we figured out, as Riley and Brandon have said, that would be to sell the data back to Jewel, and that's where the real money is, versus selling a 99-cent app on the App Store.
All right, so some things we've done to show off our product. We've given out surveys to teachers and adults at the high school and also customers at Jewel. And that was just to see if people liked our idea and if they would use it if it was an app. And the majority of people said they would. And just as Daniel talked, we met with the marketing executives at Jewel headquarters, and they are interested in the idea, but more interested in the data itself, because if they could track where each customer goes, they could like advertise what products they want in the most populated areas. And we thought of an idea called Dash for Cash, where us four, we go in, since we mapped out Jewel, we go in and have a grocery list and have a set time. And if a customer that does not have direct dial but goes through with the same grocery list and they beat our time, we give them $50 of cash for the groceries. But recently Jewel remodeled everything, so yeah, we did not get the chance to do that.
Oh, so our, as the judges have the second packet, was the revenue and expenses we have, and they're pretty exciting. So in the first year we planned it would be $100,000 of expenses, $100,000 given through an investor, and then we'll develop the app, get everything running, talk to Jewel. Then the following year, year two, we expect to have around $400,000 of revenue, and that's just with Jewel. I have 180 stores. We're going to charge $2,000 per store, and then $100,000 up front as a contract. Then year three, which is really exciting after the first year, where we tweak everything, make it perfect. Year three, we plan on expanding that to 6 more stores with 100 of their private little stores, and that is almost $3.5 million of revenue. And then I have all the expenses listed out right there. And these are all real numbers that we came up with for all of 3 years. And then this is just the, revenue after taxes and that kind of mess with investors stuff and all that stuff. Yeah, and then so this is our hockey stick graph, and it goes, it starts really slow as we develop everything, and it should shoot right on up, making us a whole lot of money. And so the investor information, so our deal is we find an investor that'd be willing to give $100,000 with 40% interest to cut off a lot in the company, 10% of the profits they'd get. So that would be our deal, but then the next slide. But then what we'd be asking for today would be $2,000 so we can continue developing the whole app and everything we need. It would go a whole lot slower, but this is our minimum we need with lawyer incorporating and app development.
Thank you. Okay, give it up for Direct Aisle. Way to go, nice job. So, judges, let the questions begin.
How would you get the apps into the consumer's hands? Would Jewel make them available to their customers?
It would just be on the App Store.
Yeah,
anyone can download it.
The Jewel they said that they do the advertising because that's easy, putting posters in the store, on the back of the receipts if anyone reads those. But we put ads on that, and throughout the store they said that's something they do because they want people to have an app like this in their store.
Do you Ford plan on continuing next year in the class or with the business?
Daniel and Jack are. Me and Brandon decided not to. We had too many other classes we wanted to take.
Okay. For the two guys continuing, what's the relationship like with the developer at Aurora University? Is that something that you can continue at a reasonable rate of pay for that for those services?
Well, we were very happy with what they provided us. Mr. Lash, the teacher, was very helpful in getting everything done. The students have graduated, but they said that, that they might be willing to do something like this, or we just find more people that would be willing to do this for cheap. But that's what the $1,000 if we were to pay additional college kids or the same people who said they might be willing to do this.
So will you then add other members to your team? Or you two will go it alone?
Riley and Brandon said that they'd love to help us, but they're not doing the class itself.
I have just a minor comment. First of all, let me compliment you on how far along you've thought this through. So coming up with phase 2 and phase 3. When I see it, it's fine, but the first 2-3 times you said it, I thought you were saying direct dial, D-I-A-L. So just be mindful of that. I don't know if anyone else heard that, but I thought direct dial, what does that have to do with the store? So it looks great. I'm not suggesting that you change your name, but just enunciate.
Okay, judges, any more questions? I'm certain I'm the one that said direct dial. It was probably me. No, it's good advice. Be concise. It's great. Great questions from the judges. Any other questions, judges?
Yeah, guys, I love this idea because I've been lost in Jewel so many times I can't begin to tell you. And it's very distracting because you see so many wonderful people in there, of course, that you know too. So, and maybe you said this and I missed it, but if I run into one of you guys in Jewel and we start to talk and I have your app and then I miss an aisle that I was supposed to pick something up in, like my navigation system in my car, when I make a wrong turn, will it redirect me then back to that?
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for when it's finally done.
Well, don't hope for that. I mean, you got to get that done.
It will happen. I promise.
All right.
Rerouting.
Beautiful.
Rerouting. That's right.
Thanks. It's an awesome idea, guys.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, judges. I'm certain I believe the same sentiments that I hate shopping as well. And so if you can help me with that, that would be great. It would probably even make for a better evening in my household, right, if I was helping out in that regard. So thank you. You all did awesome. Round of applause. Direct dial, everybody. Okay, this one's going to have to be really loud. This is for all 4 groups. If you could put it up in the air for a round of applause for all 4 groups tonight, because they're all still here. Awesome job. Really well done. I can't tell you enough how rewarding it is to get up here and be able to listen to these young men, and even seeing Julianne in the classroom, and hopefully in the future more women in this program, young ladies, because it's important to advance entrepreneurship, and it's important to advance, and we've got such a great resource here. But I have to tell you too, having been a coach in the classroom, it was absolutely incredible from where we were back in, talking about balance sheets and P&Ls and how to generate revenue to where they got on stage today to present and pitch their story. Congratulations again. Another round of applause. Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask the judges if you can confer. I think you're going to step away and talk about your scoring as you listen to the 4 presentations tonight, and come up with your awards. And why the judges are doing that, we're going to take a brief video, and that video is going to be with Mr. Hubbard and Mr. Puron, and they're going to talk about their experience of the INCubator program this year at Batavia High School. So please pay attention to the monitors above.
So I'm Dennis Puron. I am the teacher or lead instructor for the INCubator program at Batavia High School.
And I'm Bob Hubbard, born and raised in Batavia, graduated from Batavia High School, and owned a local business for 40 years, and I'm the community champion who recruits coaches and mentors for the program.
So for INCubator this year, I was very lucky to get to work with our community champion, Bob Hubbard. And first of all, what was great for me was Bob and I go back a number of years. I would say we first met when I was a small business owner in the community of Batavia. It's been an awful lot of fun for me to get to go through this again. And so Bob, I'd like you to maybe talk a little bit about your role as community champion, and how maybe you found some of these people and what their thoughts were with the program.
This is my second year doing this role, and I guess I was picked to do this role because I owned a business in Batavia for many years, and I was born and raised here, and they looked for somebody who just knew a lot of business people in the community.
Sure, right,
that you could reach out to, and so I've really enjoyed doing it.
What do you think if somebody was going to be a coach? We'll talk about that first. Do you think, maybe some people that are apprehensive about it kind of find out it wasn't as bad as they thought?
Yeah, and you try to pick people who are comfortable speaking in front of groups.
Yeah, sure.
And maybe have a little experience in that, and who have really done it for a while. And right. Because I think, for anybody, it's easy to talk about something you're passionate for, and hopefully your career is, you're passionate about it. So right. It's selling your career to the kids and making it interesting.
I would say the other part of it too going forward that I know we'll always be in need of are the mentors. And I think as much as anything, that mentor-team relationship, the strongest ones, that relationship has really driven some of those teams. For the success of the overall program and the kids, that mentor-team relationship, and it's a small group, it's a handful of kids, really seems to be, I think, critical for the success of the team. What were some of the highlights for you of things that weren't necessarily part of the class, but things that we kind of fell into that were kind of unique?
I think one of the most exciting things is a mentor that came to us who had just moved into Batavia and knew about our program is Dr. Furkan Gir, and he happens to be a professor at Northern Illinois University teaching entrepreneurship. Furkan had the class out to Northern and brought them in and had them attend one of the classes, the entrepreneurship class he was teaching, and the kids got to hear the college kids doing a pitch.
Yeah, it was cool.
And pitching their products.
And actually, we were talking about this earlier, Dennis Barcima, who the entrepreneurship program he's kind of built up, actually spent about half an hour with our kids on that day. And that was amazing, just the things that he had to say, and talked a lot about in the entrepreneurship world in schools, which is being taught more and more at the college level, social entrepreneurship, which basically was, hey, you can do good, save the world, but you can also get rich at the same time, which sounded like a good idea, and a lot of our kids thought about that as something they might do in school. So,
and one thing that I think is one of the most important is the way the physical facility in the classroom has
awesome.
Changed.
Yeah.
How it went from a room with a bunch of desks and a chalkboard
yes.
to, with the help of Interiors for Business
yes.
and a lot of donations and a lot of hard work, but it changed it, and the room has been changed into a business setting.
You know, what was a lot of fun about that was kind of the students this year were involved in that. Actually, Seth Winkle, who is our teaching assistant for our class, really helped organize a fundraiser that we ran with the local sponsorship through Penrose up in Geneva, and was extremely well attended, wonderful for something that we decided to put together really this year, and really helped us. I believe we raised
almost
$13,000, and that was kind of the final piece we needed to get the room done. So a lot of nice program growth this year. The physical facility is improved. We've learned a lot, I think, about what's important about our mentors and our coaches, how far we could let teams go, and trying to create all these networks and connections for them to be successful. And I think in future years it only will get better and better.
I think it's a great program, and it's only going to get greater.
All right, round of applause. It's so great to have leadership from the community and leadership in the classroom to make this such a great event. Now, you heard we've been able to be very fortunate with the support of the community and the money we've been able to raise. We ask you to continue to support this program, and don't forget about those white envelopes. And again, if you don't have a cash or checks, guess what? We take credit cards, right, exactly. Well, while our judges are wrapping up their tallying, we'll just be shortly, we thank you for your patience. It's been a pretty awesome evening tonight, seeing these kids really blossom this year and into it's not easy getting on stage, and these lights, so they're kind of bright, and they don't get to do this often, but how prepared are they when they go off into college and have to do this for like serious college grades, right? I mean, it's absolutely a phenomenal thing. Not only does it prepare them for that, but also prepares them for those college interviews that they're doing. Prepares them to get in front of an interview when they get into the workforce. Lifelong skills we're getting here. So I want to welcome our esteemed panel back, and we're going to move to Dennis Puron and Brian, who are going to actually tally up the awards and results. Dennis Puron, folks.
So a couple other things. Again, want to thank our incredible mentors and coaches from this year. Very important. They really make this program go. And so my other pitch tonight is we need mentors. We're going to have 2 sections of the first year class running next year in addition to a year 2 program. So we can use more mentors to work with our teams, and would really appreciate that. Reach out to our community champion, Bob Hubbard, or myself, and we'd love to work with you. Also, we made a slight change to the model this year of what Incubator maybe had done at other schools or in the past. We felt like proving or validating their solution was really what the goal of the course was. It was through all the coursework we'd done, their MVP process, prove that your idea, that your solution to a problem is really a solution that people believe in or they would use. And I think that's what they spent the majority of their time on, because it makes no sense to proceed forward with the business if it's a great idea, but nobody says they'll use it. So their focus changed to that, especially from the MVP. Lots of pivots, some things that they talked to you about, many they didn't get a chance to go in the short amount of time, that I think were very beneficial. So rather than simply just selling off a portion of their future potential business, what we'd hoped to do instead was find a little bit of seed money, which we were able to get through fundraising earlier in the year, to allow them to really just start to get their business off the ground. Now, we hope that investors will follow. And so, that being said, Obviously tonight, if there's somebody here in the audience that's interested in working with any of our groups, please be happy to approach them and we can work out the fine details later. A number of them have already been approached and they're working with people in our own community and outside of our community, but that part of it would be fantastic. So we have a couple different options there. In addition to that, some of our students who might be proceeding into year 2 might not necessarily be working on their business concept, but working with other local businesses to help them see and prove a concept they have to improve their own businesses as well. Also, we have a couple teams that did not pitch this evening. There was a competition to get to the competition. One of those groups is going on as well, and they will have an opportunity to work with us over the summer and in the fall to earn funds for their group as well. So, without further ado, Brian Gamlin, if you could.
So why don't we have all the teams come on up, and all the students, if you were in the class and you're in the audience, come on up and let's kind of form up here. While they're coming up as judges, we kind of conferred, and all the different groups will go through their awards, and we've got the grand total that we're presenting to the groups tonight. Go ahead.
My teaching assistant, Seth Winkle, everybody.
So for tonight, as we conferred and we raised the funds, we actually have $1,500 to award to Navigators, $1,500 to award to Docclock, and $2,000 to award to Direct House. So let's go ahead and bring that up front here, Seth. Go ahead right in the middle. Just hold it in front. So we'd like to thank you for making this possible. Thank you for the students that put the work in, and we'll be able to work with them next year to utilize those funds to take next steps. And I'm going to kick it back to Mr. Junker to close us up for the evening.
There you go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good job. What a great group of kids. All right, fantastic. I've just been informed that there's a special surprise. All teams will be out in the lobby afterwards for you to mingle with, ask questions, because, you know, as an audience, you're probably thinking, I really like that idea. Either I don't want to go shopping too often, or I don't like waiting in the doc's office, or I would like to pair up and play golf with somebody else, and so on and so on. So that is a special surprise for us. A round of applause again for these wonderful students. For the instructor, Dennis Piron and Brian Gamlin. For our esteemed judges. For BATV, Batavia High School. And most importantly, for you all as parents and audience members in the community who raised a great group of young adults. Congratulations. Have a great evening. It's been a pleasure. I'm Dan Junker. I'm honored. Have a great night.